probably the most dangerous prank I've seen in a long time, and it's nothing short of horrifying for the victims, because this family's night had a hard left turn and turned into a straight-up horror film when 3 people in Halloween masks showed up to their door in Alexandria, Virginia, and what started as what they thought was some sick Halloween prank turned into a full-on attempted home invasion.
Chilling video captured on a Ring doorbell camera.
Open the door!
3 people wearing Halloween masks terrorizing a family in Alexandria, Virginia, just outside Washington, D.C., late Tuesday night.
Worst nightmare.
The 3 apparently laughing at first, but their actions quickly becoming more sinister. From pulling on the front door
Open the door! Open the door!
to making the motion of cutting their throat before threatening to break into the house.
I'm gonna count to 10. If this door doesn't open, we're gonna come in.
What an incredibly stupid prank. I think a lot of people would count to 10 before they dump a mag in them, because this happened in Virginia, the same state where a teenager had his life cut short because he thought it was a great idea to run and jump kick a random person's house at 3 in the morning. But come on. Let's please not bring the 2016 clowns back. I would really enjoy my life if we didn't have that trend return. But at around 10 p.m. on October 14th, a family in Alexandria was just minding their own business when 3 people in masks showed up outside their front door. One dressed as a clown, one in a Michael Myers getup, and one as a nightmare nun. If that already sounds like the worst crossover movie ever, it gets so much worse. Because Shiloh Whiteside, who was visiting her mom that night, told reporters she first thought it was some Halloween nonsense.
Said Happy Halloween when they first came, asked them to get off the property. When they didn't, that's when I realized it wasn't a joke anymore.
Our ABC affiliate WJLA speaking with Shayla, one of those family members inside. She says the 3 never got into the house.
Wow, yeah, they sure are given a lot of justification for a homeowner to actually defend that house here. But the suspects allegedly opened the porch door and threatened to break in. Charlotte told Fox that her heart dropped when they said they were going to grab a chair and break down the door. And what's even crazy is all of this went on for about 10 minutes. Meanwhile, her younger brother and their dog were inside. And police later said this was no harmless joke. This was a attempted break-in. And remember, again, this happened in Virginia. 10 minutes is a long time to be on someone's property threatening to come in. And all of this happening at the front was apparently not enough, because it gets so much worse. Because then the masked trio decided to break into their yard. And this is where things went from creepy to straight up home invasion.
They tore the whole thing down.
She says they made their way to the backyard, destroying her fence and the screen to the back door.
They came through there, and that's how they entered to get to our door to be able to knock on the back door.
I'm not aware of incidents that have occurred this heinous before, and that's why it's so concerning.
Police in Alexandria now investigating, the chief calling this video very alarming.
But we're going to take every step once we identify them to prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law.
Investigators say what may be seen as a prank days before Halloween is no joke.
Going around to their backyard, destroying property, and transitions from a prank to a criminal offense. And we take these incidents seriously.
According to Shiloh, they tore down part of the fence and ripped the screen door in the backyard to get closer to the back entrance. Yeah, that doesn't come across as a prank anymore. They physically damaged property and tried to surround the house. At that point, it doesn't matter if they thought they were being funny or not. The second you start breaking things and moving towards the back door, like, come on, there's a huge difference between a dumb Halloween prank and a literal home invasion. And this one was way past the line, because opening the back porch door, that's trespassing. Banging on the door and threatening to break in, that's a threat. Making throat-slitting gestures, that's definitely a threat. And the Alexandria police chief, Tariq McGuire, said they began to make threatening and alarming comments to the family. Specifically, they said, if you do not come out, we will come in, and also threatened to do bodily harm, stating that they would ultimately kill them. There's no way this could be any sort of joke. Like, this isn't throwing toilet paper on houses or eggs even. This is straight up criminal. Like, even if they didn't get into the house, threatening to enter and attempting to enter is still a chargeable offense. And if they did actually get through the screen by force, the homeowner could absolutely empty a mag on them. Like, this should never happen. Because hey, this is Virginia. People are armed. It's a state with a stand your ground style castle doctrine. Like, you pull this stunt on the wrong house and you're not ending up on some funny TikTok video. No, there'll be an obituary. Because Virginia homeowners are legally allowed to use deadly force if they reasonably believe someone is trying to enter their home to commit a felony. Breaking into the backyard, threatening to kick down the door, yeah, that definitely qualifies. So either these clowns targeted this family knowing they didn't have anything to defend themselves with, or maybe they were just complete morons who thought, hey, maybe showing up late, masked at night, making threats, no, that wouldn't cut my life short at all. Because Alexandria is in the DMV, or the greater DC area, and there's definitely way fewer people who have firearms in their house there compared to if you just go a little bit further into Virginia. But this is exactly the kind of trend that snowballs fast, because you do remember the clown panic in 2016. Also, again, please don't say that's coming back. But back in 2016, I guess a bunch of people thought it was hilarious to just dress up as clowns and terrorize people for either for social media content or just for the love of the game, I guess. Things got so bad that you apparently had evil clown experts giving advice on news networks about how to interact with these evil clowns. Like, you have Benjamin Radford, who wrote a whole book on this, and he said this stuff has been happening since the 80s. So clown panics are just a thing that happens, I guess, once in a while. So hey, I guess 2025 hasn't been cursed enough, so now it might as well just be a clown year as well. That's awesome, guys. But Radford also explained at the time there were two kinds of clown incidents. You had the stalker clowns, who are actual people who dress up and scare and harass others, and then phantom clowns, on the other hand, are apparently reported sightings that spread quickly through fear and social media. And honestly, this kind of seems like a mix of both. Stalking clown that I'm really worried is going to lead to phantom sightings. And 2016 was a mix of both, because people claimed to see clowns near schools, in the woods, in parking lots, people fired guns into trees, schools locked down, entire communities lost their minds, and eventually it died down. But Radford says this is something that could easily come back, with saying, in quote, these archetypes are in our culture and they're not going away. If that's true or not, who knows, but I at least hope it's not true, because hey, I mean, we all survived the 2016 clowns and the awful YouTube prank era that came with it, and now, if anything, if it returns, it'll probably be like a whole TikTok prank era. But unfortunately, these things just snowball, because someone does something stupid like this, dressing up and scaring a family, and then it goes viral, and then someone else decides to copy it, because I guess, you know, some people who are too old to trick-or-treat would rather get some sort of felony instead. But what we saw right here was not just someone standing in a parking lot with balloons. No, this was a targeted house, and, you know, it went on for 10 minutes of them actually trying to get into the home. And let's be real, these three people put everyone in danger. Most likely they didn't know who was on the other side of the door, and they don't even have to only worry about who was inside the house, because you have a bunch of neighbors all around here. What if the neighbors see someone trying to break into a neighbor's house? That could then make them turn into a hero, because I know a lot of us are close with our neighbors and we would be there for each other. But the police chief made it clear and said, in quote, it's a warning to people, do not go up to people's doors, make threats, advance into their doorways, and play with their lives, because it ultimately can lead up to a dangerous event. Which I guess is just going to translate to don't be a moron with a clown mask. Virginia homeowners actually have rights. And police say the masked trio did flee the scene after removing their masks and driving off, and the investigation is currently ongoing, but authorities already have promising leads. If identified, they could face serious charges for burglary and criminal threats. And honestly, if they get charged, that's just fully deserved. That's on them. That's a massive skill issue on their part. Should have made a better prank. This is not some kind of like, whoops, didn't mean to do that, guys. But unironically, in court, they'll probably say it was just a prank. So that's just 2025 for you. But the police are treating it as a criminal matter because of the backyard damage, and they also are referring to the whole thing as a prank gone too far. But I mean, let's just entertain that idea for a minute, because this was a targeted thing and the threats were real. Like, the thing that makes me a little bit suspicious is they didn't show up and yell. They opened the porch door, they kept pounding harder and harder when told to leave, and then went back around and tore down the fence and ripped the screen door. That is way more than just a prank. So whether this was a prank or not, the law doesn't care. So I mean, hey, if there's anyone out there trying to do something like this on Halloween, remember, someone within the house might be holding something else in a bucket of candy. But speaking of Halloween, we just dropped a limited edition Halloween 2025 collection over at Mat City. Because if you guys are new here, I started a mouse mat and toy car mat brand with my friends to bring that nostalgic toy car mat look to a city near you. Because every talk show has an expensive city skyline behind them, and since I'm an extremely low budget talk show, I decided to hang a version of that nostalgic toy car mat behind me. And then we realized it would be cool to make a whole bunch of unique ones of cities all around. But each year we do a limited Halloween drop, which is available only for a few weeks, so feel free to grab this year's collection down below. Or check out any of the other cities. You can do so at mat.city. That's actually our website. We also just dropped Seoul and Texas and a few other cities as well, so feel free to check those out, as it does massively support the channel. Normally I would have my Mat City backdrop, but I'm currently traveling for content. But other than that, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.